Hey guys, this is Michael B. the Game Genie, and this is my August update to my NES Complete Collection Chronicles. I want to start off by saying, guys, you have no idea how much I picked up in the last month. So much so that I actually had to do something that I generally don't do, but I'm not going to include everything I picked up in August in my August update. I'm going to save some of it for September. And I know you guys are thinking, oh, what a jip, but trust me, if I didn't, this video would be about 4 hours long. So I'm just going to show you what I picked up at the earliest part of August, and then what I picked up towards the end of August, I'm going to save for next month's video, so I'm going to leave you hanging. Actually, next month's video might even be 2 parts, I don't know yet. So anyways, let's see what I got at the early part of August. First up is a Tengen game called Tubin. Now, I know absolutely nothing about this. I know that 64-bit Matthew recently picked this up as well, so I'm excited to try it out. I've only recently started collecting unlicensed games in the collection too, so whenever I see a Tengen game, I pick it up. Previously, I just used to leave them there. That's why I didn't have some of these easy-to-find games before. Next up is Alien Syndrome. I'm excited to play this. I've heard a lot of really good things about it, but it was actually about the SMS version of the game, so let's see if the Nintendo port is just as good. RBI Baseball 2, and of course, RBI Baseball 3. I always get so excited to find Jaleco games without the actual Jaleco on the label. This is Robo Warrior. I haven't had a chance to play Robo Warrior yet, so I'm excited to try it out. I really want to find a copy of Wampum. I've heard good things. This is a game, Dirty Harry, that I thought I had since the very beginning. Like, when I started collecting again, I took the, 13, 14 games I have from home, and I hit a lot right away where I picked up like 50 games for $2 a piece. And I thought Dirty Harry was in this lot, so I've never ever picked it up again. But I haven't really seen it that much either. Like, I have seen it a couple times and passed it over. Anyways, finally realized I needed Dirty Harry, and I found this at Peninsula Video Games in Marystown, Keeb's hometown. Arch Rivals. I'm not sure. I think this was an arcade port. Arch Rivals was a original arcade game. I've never played Arch Rivals, but I'm hoping it's something a little like the hockey equivalent, which I think would be Hit the Ice. I'm sure it's better than Bill Lambert's Combat Basketball. Swarm. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Picked this one up to Product X up in CBS. Excited to add it to my collection. I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan. I love the movies. I've watched them probably 1,000 times each. I don't know if there's any good Indiana Jones NES games, but I'll play them through and find out. Wheel of Fortune, Sally Ride, Heavy Metal Suicide. I can't remember the rest. Actually, I used to know all the words till we didn't start the fire at one point. Anyways, Wheel of Fortune Junior Edition. I don't know how I didn't have this. Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. One of my all-time favorite Simpsons moments is actually the Christmas episode where Bart seals a game. I think it's like Bone Storm, I think is the game that he wanted to get, but I get confused because there's another episode where he has a video game. And anyways, he ends up having to give it back, and his mom ends up buying him a video game for Christmas anyways, or after the fact, she ends up buying him a video game. And it's actually a Lee Trevino game. So whenever I see Fighting Golf, that's what I think of. I don't think I'll play this too much. I'm not a huge golf fan on the NES. Even the black box golf, I'm not a huge fan of, especially NES Open Tournament. But anyways, Lee Trevino's Open Golf, added to the collection. Elevator Action, that's what I'm talking about. I've heard great things about this game, excited to finally be able to give it a try. Wheel of Fortune, Sally Ride, Heavy Metal Suicide. I did that already. Anyways, the regular Wheel of Fortune for the NES. I really enjoy Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. I love answering questions, doing fun stuff, so very excited to try this out. Whoa! Pac-Man! Who doesn't love Pac-Man? Anyways, very excited to try this out. The only home console version of Pac-Man I remember playing is on the Atari 2600 at my friend Joey's house when he got it for his 8th birthday, I think it was. He got an Atari 2600 and Pac-Man, so excited to try that out. Pac-Man. Afterburner. I actually have the SMS version of Afterburner, and I've played that. I really like that. I don't know what the NES version would be like, so anyways, I'm excited to try that out. I love how Tension did that. They took all these Sega titles like Shinobi, Afterburner, Alien Syndrome, and then ported them over to the NES. You sneaky devils. Hey Pat, do you know anything about this game?
Right. Best of the best for $3? Uncommon game!
So I picked up Best of the Best Kickboxing Championship. It's the first time I've ever seen this game out in the wild. I don't think it's a crazy game to find or something that's going to be expensive because I picked it up for I think like $5, but anyways, excited to find Best of the Best Kickboxing Championship. Early Taito! Arkanoid. I think there's a special controller for this and everything. I don't have the controller obviously, but excited to add Arkanoid to the collection. And I find the early Taito games really interesting. They have this like rainbow, multicolored design in the background. It's kind of not as exciting as, you know, the early Capcom or even the purple Capcom, and the gray for Konami that was synonymous later. But anyways, early Taito, Arkanoid. The next one is a black box game that honestly has plagued me. I couldn't find it anywhere for the longest time. And actually, a buddy of mine here that I used to wrestle with named Adam picked up a copy here locally, and anyways, the minute he did, I've been hounding him and harassing him. I'm like, yeah, hey Adam, you should sell me that copy of Ice Climber. And I offered him more money than he paid for it, and he wrote me back and he said, actually Mike, it's just so exciting to have something that you don't have that I don't think I'll sell it. But anyways, I hounded him, and he eventually decided to sell to me. So I now have a black box game I didn't have, Ice Climber. Very excited about this. Ice Climber is such a fun game. Very excited that I can finally play it here on my home system. Now's the part where I do my synonymous plug for Adam, because I mentioned that Adam collects video games, and I mentioned that me and Adam were wrestling together. But what I didn't tell you guys about is that Adam actually does a podcast here in Newfoundland called Console Culture. And it's actually a really cool podcast. It's done by him and his friend Barry. And Barry actually used to be in wrestling as well. I actually have more experience with Barry from wrestling. Barry was part of a tag team called Criminally Insane, and he was actually a pretty impressive wrestler. I really enjoyed working with him. Anyways, two of these guys combined, they get together, they do a weekly podcast, and it's great. So I'm going to list a link down below to their actual Console Culture Podbean page, I think it is. They're also on, I think, Fubar Radio, and one of the ones that here on the YouTube world we're all synonymous with is Adam has his own YouTube page as well called Console Culture. So I'm going to put a load of links down below, and I really encourage you guys to go check them out. They're actually really cool guys, and they do a pretty decent podcast. The other really cool thing about Adam is that just recently he actually started setting up a table at the flea market. I love it. I don't love that games are getting more expensive and it's getting harder and harder to buy them here in Newfoundland. But what I do love is it's all economics, yo. So supply and demand. And since the demand is so high, the people are coming out of the woodworks to sell these now. So we've gone from having one decent table at the flea market to sometimes 3, sometimes 4. And the new one is the Console Culture table. So Adam from the podcast takes his banner down, they set up their table, and he sells a couple things. And he actually is at a table with another really cool guy that I just recently found out about that's a local reseller, this guy, Justin Rousel. And Justin, at first, I contacted him on a couple GameCube games, and it didn't work out. So I didn't know how we were going to get along. And then a little bit later, Justin came across something incredible. A NES game that I didn't think I'd ever find a copy of. Definitely not here locally. I figured for sure this would be something I picked up on a trip away or something I got off eBay. But anyways, he sold it to me. I gotta go back a couple minutes because there's actually a story to this. So at their flea market booth, Adam originally had one of his friends brought in 10 or 12 games and said, hey man, I just want to sell all these games to you. One of the games happened to be Action 52. So he sold the whole lot to Adam for $60. Adam, being the cool guy he is, actually told him ahead of time, man, are you sure you want to do this? Action 52 is actually a pretty expensive game. And the guy said, yeah, still, I'm going to go ahead and sell it. So Adam picked up a copy of Action 52 for roughly around $10. So Justin, the guy at the table with him, who was also a collector, looked at Adam and said, how much do you want for that Action 52? And Adam said, you know what, it's cool to have it, and at least I can say I owned it, but I don't really need it, so I'll sell it to you, and I'll sell it to you for what I got the lot for. I'll sell it to you for $60. So Adam sent me a picture and said, hey, guess what I just picked up for $10, Action 52. So I wrote him back right away and I said, I want to buy it. And he said, well, actually, I just sold it to Justin. So being the reasonable guy I am, instead of congratulating Justin and, accepting the fact that I missed out on an Action 52, I then messaged Justin and hounded him mercilessly to sell his copy of Action 52. And of course, he turned around and he did a bro thing. We traded a couple items. I gave him a Super Nintendo and a couple Super Nintendo games, a little bit of cash, and lo and behold,
make your selection now.
it takes two to make a thing go right. It takes two to make it out of sight. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Michael B. the Game Genie now has a copy of Action 52. While not the rarest game I have for the Nintendo, this now officially becomes the most expensive game, as it usually sells on eBay for around $200+. So anyways, very excited to finally have a copy of Action 52 on the NES. And I'm one of the very, very fortunate people, and one of the, outside of the angry video game nerd, I don't know a whole lot of other people who can say this, one of the very few people to have both Action 52 on the NES and Action 52 on the Genesis. That's right, boys. I got them both. So alright guys, if you've been following along at home, that's 18 new NES games to my collection. Last time I had 436 games, which brings me up to 454. And there's more. Oh, there's so many more this month. I wish I had the time to show you all of them, and I'm very sorry, but I promise you, next month, there'll be one, if not two, updates to my NES Complete Collection Chronicles. Let me give you a little taste. Yep, a lot more. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for following along on this very, very fun, expensive, but fun and magical journey of me trying to complete my NES collection. I'm getting very close now, and it's a little exciting. It's also a little concerning, too, because what the heck do I do once I have them all? I don't know. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. This is Michael B. the Game Genie, and I'll talk to you next time. Alright, Action 52. Let's get our game on. I know, isn't that like the oldest skit in the world in the video game industry? Right?